making capital. This guy again. Wicked, wicked, wicked. All right, that was stupid. I know that was stupid. All right. Hello and welcome to another episode of With Enough Prep Time. I'm your host, the Nerd Man, and today I'm here with my bro, Super Zero. I haven't spoken to him in a while. Cool to have him back on the show. Hopefully he can be he could come on more often from now on. But yeah, here with Super Zero, and we're here to talk Lois and Superman and Lois, episode 11, and Loki. So how you doing, buddy? It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while. I'm doing pretty good. Busy with work all the time, and I got a 3D printer, and I'm busy doing custom action figures. And
He does these wicked custom action models and stuff. So maybe I can help you out with promoting that a little bit, but I don't know exactly how your business works.
I
But
just take commissions mostly, and then I just go on action figure tangents where I just get ideas and make whatever. Right now, I'm really big into McFarlane's with the customs. So I like messing with the DC multiverse and the Spawn figures, and that's my favorite. I used to do the Marvel Legends, but I'm kind of sick of those actually.
yo, man, what's up, Tony? Yeah. No, you're sick of doing the Marvel figures. Did you say?
The 6-inch Marvel Legends figures? Yeah, everybody. That's so typical of. There's so many of them, so the pool is large to grab from them. So it's like everybody's using Marvel figures all the time. So I want to see more figures, different figures. But
Yeah,
we'll see.
I got you. So you watched. Let me ask you a question because I'm kind of curious about this. We're gonna get right into the heart of things today, because you know how I like a good DC versus Marvel discussion.
Yeah. Oh, I don't.
So
yes, I do.
so what we've got two TV shows right now, on for DC and obviously MCU. And we have Loki, and we have Superman. We have Superman versus Lois, Superman and Lois. So which one are you enjoying more? Which one are you digging more?
Honestly, at the moment, right now, I'm enjoying Superman and Lois way more than I'm enjoying Loki. But the pool is a lot larger from Superman and Lois. I mean, what are we 11 episodes deep now?
Yeah,
And
that is
Loki,
true.
we're only 3 in. So, and we're only going to have maybe 3 more or possibly 8. I don't remember how many we have, but so there's really not a lot. But it's going to lead to a bigger story, as always with Marvel. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I think we might have a lot more in store if you are more into Loki, but I'm not. I'm a DC guy for comic wise. I love the DC comics more than I love Marvel, but and it doesn't just films. It doesn't matter what DC or Marvel, but I love Batman so much, and I love Justice League so much, and I have never been a Superman fanboy, and this show just pretty much re-sparked my love for anything
Dude,
Superman. And
I
I'm
am
all
telling you,
about it.
man.
I'm all about it because it's a mystery to me how DC has been doing it with their television or cable shows. They're just killing it. The good ones are great. They're just so
Yeah,
good.
I think Stargirl is really good. I think this one is
Stargirl is one of
really
my
good.
favorites, and I couldn't stand the character. I love the robot and the concept, but I didn't care about her. You know, I didn't care about any of them except which one? The cat guy, but I can't remember his name. But
Right, I know Wildcat.
Wildcat, yeah, and that's because he was big in the DC universe, and I know he was in Detective Comics every once in a while with Batman, but that's about the extent of it. But these shows are making me love characters that I didn't care about at all. So, I love it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think this episode specifically of Superman and Lois, it's probably my favorite episode.
Yeah,
I love a good origin story of
I
the
completely agree with you.
DC characters, and this one did such a good job of laying out the specific origin of this, multiverse Superman, um,
Um,
and what makes him different from, from Christopher Reeves, what makes him different from Henry Cavill. Dude, you know what? I never usually say this. I really never say this. But if they're looking for a new Superman for fucking Justice League movies and Henry Cavill can't do it, take Tyler Hoechlin. I usually would not say that, but I think they've established him so well, and he's a good enough actor to be doing films. You know what I mean? Like some of these TV actors, they're a bit too TV-ish for me, but this Tyler Hoechlin and Bitsy Tulloch, they're good. They're really
yeah,
good, and this is a really kind of grounded version of the traditional Superman. Do you know what I mean? Like it's grounded, like it's not like wacky, you know, Chris Reeves style, thing, but it still has those elements. The bumbling Clark Kent, the aspirational style version of Superman, but it's a little bit more grounded. I like the fact that the mother, Mark Kent seems much more like just a normal mother than like, or the same with Park Kent. They just seem like really normal, grounded, like mother and father, rather who still instill him with these good values, but rather than typically they go this direction where um, it's more like a movie dad or a movie.
yeah. They're like
You
a
know,
wholesome family.
they're just like a
It's a
wholesome,
Smallville family
real
right there.
family.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
it's. I mean, I feel like they're the neighbors next door. If I lived in a farm, and I mean, I grew up in Oxford, Wisconsin. With my grandparents when I wasn't in California, so that's like all kind of like where there's cows that are
mm,
milk milked all the time, and it's just horses and lots of corn is grown in Wisconsin, so it's
mm,
kind of like that's the environment you would know
yeah,
with that, and I could totally picture something like that happening with the Kent family, growing up on the farm, and it,
hey
it's
everyone, hey man,
it seems like it could happen. It seems like it's all relatable too with the whole family dynamic. Um,
yeah.
it's all there, and I'm right there with
Yeah,
it.
yeah, no, I really like it a lot. I think they've done a really good job. Tony Robinson makes a good point of WB Discovery needs to move Superman and Lois and Stargirl to HBO Max. I absolutely agree with that. I think
Mhm.
this is just a really it's a quality show, and I really hope they keep up with this. I would prefer them doing less episodes with Stargirl and Superman and Lois. Like keep it tight, like a nice 10 episodes. Don't stretch it out too much. Don't give the writers overwork them or anything like that, because they've got some very good writers. This one in particular, this was not a CW episode. Like every other episode I've seen of Superman and Lois has struck me as still a little bit CW-ish, right? Like
Mhm.
the acting is a little bit still like it still has the feeling of a kind of soap opera-ish acting, some soap opera-ish dialogue. This one was just straight, like really, really good acting, dialogue, everything in this episode. So I really appreciated that. And just for me, the MVP of this show have been like Wale Parks, who we now know is Steel, but at first we had the suspicion he was Lex Luthor.
Lex Luthor. I love it.
Now Adam Rayner, who's playing the brother of Superman. What's his name again? Do you know? Do you remember?
I don't remember his brother's name. Let's see here. It is. No, Eric Valdez is playing Kyle. Adam Rayner, right? He plays Morgan Edge. Yeah,
Morgan Edge, right?
Edge. That's his brother's name.
So Morgan Edge has been he really upped his game in this episode. He was fantastic in this episode, and then of course Tyler Hoechlin and Bitsy Tulloch, and they just did the classic Superman origin, but with a very modern spin. I love the fact that the Daily Planet was not just a newspaper, but it was actually like a broadcast as well. So it was broadcast kind of like either cable or cable news or something like that. And they had like the Daily Planet news. And Lois was doing an interview with Superman like that. I thought that was a lovely modern spin, because we all know newspapers are like kind of going a little bit out of they're not really the big thing that they were like in the 90s and stuff, or pre-internet kind of age. So I kind of like that. They tried that once in the comics with Superman, I think in the 80s or something. They tried to switch it over to TV media, like he was a TV journalist, but it didn't quite work, because if Clark Kent is a famous fucking journalist on TV, that's hardly the best way to hide his identity. But Lois doing it makes sense. So that was nice. There's not much to say with Lois and Clark. Like, it's just a fun, interesting TV show, and they've just characterized these versions of Superman, Lois, and everything in a really good way. And I'm looking forward to them, taking on other characters like Brainiac or Lex Luthor. Let me ask you one question. What did you think of Wale Parks being Steel rather than Lex Luthor?
I loved it. But I also, my favorite Superman thing about Superman and time from Superman was the death of Superman, and with the introduction of the four Supermen, Steel, Eradicator, and Steel was like awesome. I loved him, and Superboy, and my all-time favorite, the robotic Superman. Isn't that Hank Henshaw or whatever?
Yeah,
I think Hank Henshaw, and that was my favorite time in comics, when they got some balls and were like, okay, let's kill Superman. Let's do something dramatic. Let's really make this stick, and we'll bring him back. But let's shake up the DC universe. Let's do this. And they did it. So that's my favorite. So even hearing Steel mentioned by a character, I'm like, oh, I don't want to see that. That's bullshit. That's a BS version of him. I'm not even into it. I don't care. I am into this because I like this dynamic. I didn't want him just to be Lex Luthor. That was kind of typical, to Lex always to be the villain right away, immediately, from the get-go. And I didn't want that to happen.
Well, and then we're going to answer Tony's question. And any questions that you have, keep them coming. Yo, man, what's going on? Oh, hey, MSK, man, what's going on? If you want an invite, man, I can send you an invite. Just here's an invite. If you want to jump on for a short amount of time,
I definitely agree with Tony. What Tony is saying, that that's exactly what you're gonna talk about. Yeah, Tony's definitely got it right, but that'd be such a great way to just easily weave this into it, and then you could also do more with it too. You could take it a lot more directions, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, either they do that, or I would want them to reboot. I'd prefer them to reboot Superman and do a proper from
Yes.
beginning, like year one, year two Superman,
Hmm.
basically in the Patterson universe, like a young guy, like who's young, same age as Patterson, kind of thing, or
Hmm.
at least looks the same age as Patterson, and then start a Superman thing, there. But in the absence of that, if they cannot like figure out a Superman movie, I'll just say, yeah, just bring Tyler Hoechlin in for the Justice League movies. And he's right. If you use Flashpoint, you can do that. Um,
I was
um,
just saying for television because they already kind of touched the kind of events that they led to the WB large events where they go through all the characters and all the shows. That
oh,
that's
Safwick
seven.
already.
They could
We're,
kind of
well, we're going to talk about Loki in a minute. We'll see. Loki was good. Yeah. So, but sorry, you were saying just that
Oh, I
you
was
think they can bring.
saying they already kind of touched in on things the way that I would love to see it done with these properties like Lois and Clark, or not Lois and Clark, but Lois and Superman, and um also the Flash show. Is the Flash show over? Is it still going on? Like the better WB shows, and then Stargirl and all those, and kind of weave them all together. The properties that are doing very well and have held together
Yeah,
together.
yeah, yeah. You could kind of weave Stargirl in there as well. They need more female members of the Justice League anyway. I really want to see them do a Vixen, and maybe move in Stargirl as well. And then you can even have Zatanna on the team as well.
Yeah, Zantana.
But
I
they,
just
they they need they need some more female. It can't just be Wonder Woman. Like you need like I think Vixen is the way to go, especially with like Black Panther. Um,
no, BlackRock 316 said, "Awesome episode of Superman and Lois." And as for Loki, it's all Z's.
yeah, well, we're gonna. Do you want to? Should we venture? Like, basically, the
We
episode
might as
of
well.
Superman and Lois
It,
was
it
really
was pretty
fucking
cut
good.
and
Do you
dry.
want to?
It was
Yeah,
Superman and Lois to me, as you were explaining it to me, this episode, and I completely agree with you. This is one of the best episodes so far, that where I was like, I didn't want it to end, and I was in it and just in the zone, and everything was just
yeah,
flowing together. It was great. It was like reading a comic, it was like
yeah,
going from spot to spot. It flowed so perfectly. It's so good.
yeah,
The only thing it was missing is like the scenes to shift to the next page, to the next scene.
yeah.
It's not actually, we're not actually reading it, and that's the only thing that is missing. It was such a great episode,
You
and that's
know,
how
you know
that's
where
how
I
a great
thought it was.
television.
Yeah, you know where I thought it was going though, and I thought this would have been so interesting. I thought where it was going was it was going to do half the episode where it shows how Lois and Clark got together, and then the other half it shows how Lois and Wale Park's character Steele got together with each other. Do
Hmm.
you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like I thought that was where it was going, but it was doing something different. But it was still fucking great. It was a
Hmm.
good way of doing the origin without, it being just an origin story episode, right? Like it was like not let's not just stop the story where part of now just to do a
Hmm.
quick origin story. Let's do the origin story, but but fold it into
It was
what is
intriguing how
happening
they
in
did it,
general. Yeah.
because you isn't aren't we all sick of the origin episode that we always see? Like we
Yeah.
always see that. Sathwick Reddy said Stargirl is Earth 2. So, but I mean, Sathwick, how many times have we done multiverse things and
Mhm.
it's worked or it hasn't worked? So it can be done. That's
Mm,
what we're saying. Is it'd be great to do it with established characters that are established well and good. It's not like a shit character with a shit story. So,
mm.
that's not what we're talking about. But you know, it,
But what? But wait a second. What Earth is heckling on then?
I, which one is he on?
I don't know. If she's Earth 2, what one's heckling on? I don't even know what Earth the DCEU is on, or
Yeah, it
or
doesn't even. That's kind of the point I'm making. It doesn't really matter because that's not what it's about. It works because it's multiverse. That's all. That's all you can say is it works. That's the way it works. But
got you.
I don't know which. I can't just name off which Earth, but yeah, Earth One. So,
Oh,
but
it's Earth One. So the
yeah,
DCEU isn't even Earth One. That's interesting.
but that's why I was saying the television. That's you know what I'm saying. That's why.
So wait. Is Tyler Hoechlin's Superman that we are watching at this moment the same one that was in Supergirl? Because it feels like a different version of that set. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like he's not in the same universe as Supergirl. It doesn't feel like he's met Lex Luthor, or or been around for a while. It just feels very like different from the whole tone of Supergirl. Completely different.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, what's your assumption with that? Do you think they're on the same Earth? Yeah, this was
I don't know. I don't, and but I think it's totally different. It's just a different feel. But I also enjoy this show, and I don't enjoy Supergirl at all.
mm.
So
All right. So Pickle says, yeah, this was easily the weakest episode of Loki for me. The second half of the episode was good, but for the first half, it was losing me. LOL. I don't watch CW superhero shows. No, man. Yeah, I know. Loki. By the way, Pickle, if you want to jump on to discuss Loki, because I'm
yeah,
gonna I'm
I'd
gonna have a
actually,
hard time discussing Loki.
I would actually like that because
Uh,
if he was into the episode, then I'd
yeah.
love to hear
The
what somebody else.
the the StreamYard is there, like, basically, if you want to join Pickle. Dude, let's talk about Loki. I'll give this Superman episode an A, and I'll give the season so far a good B minus. If this episode has taken it up to a B, it would have been a B minus, but this episode's taken up to a B. The only thing that's its drawback is, like, the little kids for the season. I haven't really enjoyed their part of the show as much. I think they're kind of like, especially the one with the black hair who's got the powers. I find him a little bit insufferable, to be honest. He's a really annoying kid, and it focuses a lot on him.
Mhm.
I everything about Superman and Lois and Steel, who I hoped was Lex Luthor, was the cool part for me. And then Morgan Edge and the mystery unfolding with that. Everything with the teenagers just miss me with all of that. And that's why, I've never been a big fan of Superman Family Man. But they're doing a great job of convincing me that it's something worth exploring. But again, still, I'm more into the Superman aspect than the Superboys or whatever. And, Jonathan Kent and what's the other kid called? Jordan Kent, right? So I'm more into that. I messaged you on Twitter. Oh, at work right now. No problems, mate. It was just in case. What does he say? Nerdman, why don't people complain that the CW Superman suit looks padded and fake, but they complain about Shazam suit? I guess because it's on TV and we expect that. I didn't complain about the Shazam suit. That's your problem, Pickle. But I'm glad you complained, because now looking at how they improved the suit is amazing. So lucky you did complain. What does Pickle say here? Oh, wait, I missed one. Seth, to be honest, I think all those CW shows aren't making past their next season. Which ones? You mean this one? I hope not. You mean Superman and Lois, or you mean something else?
I think Superman and Lois will make it past season 2.
I think so. I don't know about Stargirl, how that's doing, but
Yeah,
I like
I
it.
don't know. I mean, it was doing great. It got renewed for season 2. So, but we have yet to see how it'll happen. What'll happen. We really can't say what'll happen.
I didn't watch the last few episodes, but I've got HBO Max, so I'm going to put on those last few episodes
Stargirl?
to catch up. Yeah,
Oh,
with Stargirl.
it was great.
Mm.
It was great.
Because it's all in the neck. The CW Superman suit looks fake because when your muscles grow, your neck grows. Yeah, I agree with you. The
Yeah,
CW
there is no
suit
padding.
does.
There is no padding in the neck. That's true. There's an, and
Yeah,
it is as I'm looking at it. But
yeah. If you want to share the screen, you can share the screen if you've got the Superman suit. But uh, also, if you want to find a picture of Loki for me, that would be fantastic, and then you can share your screen. Nerdman, I mean, Flash, Legends, and Batwoman. Good. Good. They ought to be fucking. Can you imagine? I'm the biggest Flash fan. Well, I'm not the biggest. There's bigger Flash fans, but I'm a super Flash fan. And I don't watch a show dedicated to him and his mythos. The only show ever that's like apart from that, like 90s one that's been dedicated to Flash, and I don't watch it. That goes to show how fucking bad that show is. I watch anything or read anything to do with like Flash. So that show is bad. Bad to me. And it's been that way since about halfway through season one. Maybe I'll give season one.
oh,
I think I watched season one to almost the end, but I just couldn't take it with the bad acting, the bad dialogue. Everyone was always repping for that guy who plays Flash as well. I'm like, he's terrible. He's fucking awful as Flash. Sorry for anyone who likes him as Flash.
I'm actually surprised that Legends is still around, and I'm also surprised that Batwoman is still around with
I
all
don't know
the
what Batwoman's doing.
chaos. Oh man, that's a shit show if I've ever seen one. It's
Mhm.
like, do you really think that Ruby Rose left the show? I think she just left because she's seen what was happening. Just like
What,
this.
she just saw it was shit.
Yeah, pretty much.
Basically, yeah, I could see that. Southwick, I really like Grant as Flash.
Grant Gustin.
I mean, everyone each to their own. I don't hate him. He's not the worst, but I just mean if you accept that level of acting and that level of show, then I can see why you might like him. But it's just so bad to me that I feel it's unwatchable.
Sethwick, do you
Grant
like
is a great Flash, but the season has gone downhill.
Sethwick, do you
I,
like Grant Gustin more as Flash, or do you like Ezra Miller as Flash? Which
I'll
one?
take Ezra Miller all day, every day. What about you?
I'm gonna see. I want to see what Sethwick says. I hate Ezra Miller, but I really dislike
even in
Ezra
that,
Miller.
even in
Yeah,
that,
I don't like him in either Justice League as, and I don't see him as the Flash, but I don't think we have very many good choices really. And I don't like Grant Gustin either. But Grant Gustin is definitely like television quality Flash. Definitely. He's a
yeah, I
good
mean,
cable TV Flash.
that's what I'm saying. Whereas Tyler Hecklin, I could
You
see
like
being in
Seth,
movies.
Seth
I
would like
cannot.
Grant more. I gotta agree with him. I do like Grant more, but I also like that Flash more than I like the other Flash. And that's really Nerman, that's really why I dislike it. It isn't really
Who's
all about
Evan
Ezra Miller.
Peters? Who's
Evan
yeah? Go
Peters
on.
is from American Horror Story, and Evan Peters is a really good actor, but the I couldn't see him as the Flash.
Mm.
Like, and it
But
might be because he's played. Look who he's played. He's played a character that's exactly like the Flash. But
yeah.
so that might be it.
Yeah,
But you
guys.
were
By the way, any guys who are into hip hop, rap, we're gonna be doing a show just after this, like literally just after this. We've got Yellow Does It on with us as well, and we're gonna be going over a few of our favorite underground rap tunes. So if you're into rap, join us for that. We're going to be pumping some tunes, doing a little hip hop celebration. Both me and Super Zero are rappers. He's also a producer as well. So we're going to be talking about some underground rap. So, and I might introduce you guys to some underground UK hip hop as well. So just after. The issue with Ezra is how the character is presented on either 2017 and Zack Snyder's Justice League. Look, I'm going to defend Ezra Miller here, right? I get it. There is a distinction between Wally West Flash and oh, here we go. Pickle's gonna try and should I let him trigger me before I even continue? He's gonna try and trigger me now. All right. Nerd man, I need you to do a freestyle about the Flash show right now. The Flash show is trash, and if I had to do it again, I would cast someone who wasn't bad. I don't know. Anyway, that's my that's my freestyle.
Do it now, Pickle. That's why I like Pickle. I love it.
But yeah, no,
so ballsy. I love you, Pickle. No homo. He's a good guy.
He's a good guy. He's a good guy. But the thing that is the problem with dear God, that was terrible. I know. But hey, man, you know, I don't freestyle. I write rap.
Tony, Ezra Miller's dried chicken. Oh shit.
Okay, let me get to the point because we need to go on to Loki. Okay. All right. So essentially, Ezra Miller, I just think, is a blend between Barry Allen's Flash, the more serious Flash, who's got the better origin, and the more comedic Flash, which is Wally West. And to me, that makes complete sense to do for a film. It's an adaptation, and you're taking the best of both worlds. And when you think about the Justice League, there's so many serious characters on the Justice League that you need somebody who's a fun character, right? And if you just made him Wally West, are you going to jack Barry Allen's origin story, right? And you could do that, but you know, I think just as many people would complain about that if they jacked Barry Allen's origin story and gave it to Wally West. And Wally West doesn't have a fucking origin story. He's just a legacy character, essentially, to the Flash, except he literally became the Flash himself for about 10 years or so before Jeff Johns rebooted it. So, you know, I just think I think Warner Brothers made the right choice. Do a cross between both of them, and they did certain character choices that I understand people don't like so much, but I just think he's an infinitely better actor. Wally is the better Flash, yeah. I just think he's an infinitely better actor than Grant Gustin. So if it was between Ezra and Grant Gustin in movies, I'm picking Ezra Miller because I've seen that guy in movies where he's a good actor. Grant Gustin is a TV, straight up TV, fucking Abercrombie and Fitch model. He's one of those people who who belongs on shows like The Young and the Restless. Let's be honest about it. Ezra Miller is a proper actor. You know, whatever you want to say about him. So that's my thing on him. So Loki, you've got to help me out with this, brother.
Yeah, we can do that. Real quick before we go any further, what's your favorite Ezra Miller film?
I like the one where he plays that psychopath kid. He's really good in that. Let's talk about Kevin.
Yeah, that's my favorite movie. Good. Yep, that's my favorite movie he's in as well. Yeah, I love that film.
And he's good in it, right?
Yeah, it's a great cast, and he's perfect for that role. He's creepy.
He's creepy and terrifying, and for me, he can show that range because usually he's really kind of humorous, fun-loving kind of guy.
We don't get to see. And I would love to see him in more things. I'm not saying as a creep. I just like to see him in more things that aren't like typical of him to take and kind of, which you don't get to see that a lot. I thought we were going to see that in The Stand, but that was kind of a letdown for me. But
if Freaks and Geeks does a reboot, Ezra Miller would be great for the car. He's also good in this new show, Invincible. And I quite liked him in Trainwrecked as well. I don't know if you saw Trainwreck, the comedy. With
Amy. where he plays he plays Amy Schumer's what's her secretary? The gay
Yeah,
secretary. He's so
yeah,
awesome.
he's fucking hilarious in
He
that.
is
I thought,
hilarious in that role.
yeah, it's a small role, but he's funny
Yes.
as fuck.
Those are
So
usually the best roles,
yeah,
honestly, in my opinion, are the roles that you're like, hey, wasn't that Ezra Miller, or
yeah,
wasn't that
yeah,
guy?
exactly. So to me, it's not a problem. It's just he needs the right material, and then
Yes.
he'll be fine as the Flash.
I do
Although
agree with that as
I
well.
could think of a million better people to play him at the same time. He's not my dream cast for the Flash. Like there's a lot of people that could play the Flash. You know, so yeah, that's how I see it. Anyway, so Loki main event. Let's talk Loki. I've got to be honest, guys. Like I'm gonna be straight up honest. Safwick, this might you might not like what I'm gonna say. Uh, this TV show has been putting me to sleep 2 weeks in a row. It really has. I've been desperately trying to stay awake, and I thought, oh, maybe it's just because I'm really tired or something like that. But like I was like watching the show, and it just like I'd have to rewind it every time, and put it back 10 minutes because it's boring me to death. But then I started watching Superman and Lois, and then I started watching Alien, and I was completely awake, right? And I haven't seen Alien since I was a kid or whatever. So it was the show. The show was literally putting me to sleep, and I got through it eventually. But it was I just think the last two episodes. The first episode was really intriguing. I thought it was good. The second episode, the last 10 minutes were good. And then this episode that just came up, I thought for the most part, female Loki was a complete fucking failure to me.
Is this female Loki though? Is
I
it?
don't know. I don't know. But if that is female Loki, it's trash. I was exactly what I feared. She was going to be
Well,
turned into a
Tony,
joke. She was going to
Tony,
be made into a sympathetic character. I thought she was this evil, dastardly character that set
but
the
we don't know who
TVA
she
on
is.
fire.
Yeah, we don't even know who she is yet, though. So I mean, we gotta wait and see.
Oh, you still
Maybe
don't think she's female Loki?
I don't. I don't know, but you know how Marvel MCU is. They like to take royalties and change things for themselves, and do
Let,
like
let okay,
so.
go on.
Maybe she could be Enchantress. She's Sylvie. Enchantress's name was Sylvia. Sylvie, and like the
Oh,
second
okay.
Enchantress. But then her last name is LeFay. Loki LeFay, his last name. So maybe they took liberties, and she doesn't like. She just I don't know. She doesn't seem like. I just feel like something's off. Something's
Yeah.
always off in these shows.
Let me
Yeah,
ask you this:
like
Do you
Patrick is
think?
saying
Do you think?
she's a combo. I don't care if he says, "Can I come in?" He doesn't.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, sure.
yeah.
Yeah, sure, man.
Real quick, Tony says Loki is story based. Fans, Loki is okay. Tony, are you trying to say that Loki is story based? Fans have been spoiled with action too much. I can't. Like, I'm trying to understand what you're saying. Like, no offense, not at all trying to be a dick here, but are you trying to say that fans that are
Which
sold
one?
on like story based? Tony's Loki is story. It's Tony at 429 after BlackRock.
Loki's story-based fans have been spoiled with action too much.
Are you saying that
I
people
don't
that
think
are
it's
in the
anything to do with
story?
that with me. Can you bring up a picture of Loki? Hey, Safwick, man.
Hey, what's going on?
Oh, yeah. I'm cool, man. Um, have you got a picture of Loki you can share with the screen so I can take it off that Superman thing?
Uh,
If
Yeah,
you
people.
can,
I don't know how to
thanks,
do that.
man.
Not to sound like a dumbass.
No, it's all right.
There's
Safwick, can
supposed
you
to be
do it?
six. There's
Yeah, I can
supposed
do
to
it.
be 6 episodes. BlackRock.
Do you just want like a cast list or something, Nerdman?
Yeah, sure. Cast list would be fine or anything
Alright.
like that. Anything
Okay.
just so I can swap up the picture there.
That's why I
Uh,
think this just isn't going to work because we're on episode 3, and this is what we're working with, and it's kind of like we have 3 more episodes, where are we going to go in this 6-episode stretch? Like, they're going to have to get there quick, right? So, is this show really that great?
I mean, I was gonna say, like, I think it's all right in terms of, like, I definitely like Falcon and Winter Soldier more. They are better shows out there, but in terms of what the show is trying to do, I feel like it reminds you of like shows like Doctor Who or whatever, where I feel like there's a lot of talky in the beginning, and then you slowly get to like that final big finale, fighting or whatever it is. I feel like it's in vain of those type of shows, you know. Yeah, I can totally see how it's boring or whatever, and maybe because I am a Marvel fan and I like these characters a lot, I'm partially
Exactly, BlackRock.
biased.
BlackRock.
No,
So
I get it. I liked Owen Wilson a lot in the show. I thought he's been a really good energy, and he's brought like his kind of comedy chops, which I find him specifically funny and
Right,
his
yeah.
humor funny. So the fact that they're trying to write for that,
Mhm.
that's been the main draw for me for the show. And his conversation with Loki was awesome in the first episode.
Yep.
But I was always worried that they shot their load with that almost, because that was the thing, that reaction that this Loki would have to what was going to become of him was almost the big thing for this show, like him facing that. And I feel like they're meandering now
I don't.
before it's going to get
Yeah.
exciting. I'm sure the show will, pick
Right.
up and get exciting and things are going to happen. But I feel like it's the last episode was meandering. This episode, again, I don't know what it's trying to go for. Is it like, I suppose it's, a little bit like Doctor Who, a little bit,
That's the vibe I get. I get a strong like Doctor Who feel to it. Like, I mean, I watch like the Matt Smith seasons, right, with Doctor Who, and I sort of get that vibe where you have Loki as Matt Smith, and maybe the who I forget the friend or partner or whatever he goes along and travels with Owen Wilson's character, right? And that sort of banter back and forth between the two. And yeah, I totally agree. That's like the best part of the show so far is their friend dynamic. But like, I feel like in this episode, I really thought the dynamic between Sylvie and Loki was really strong. My biggest worry was going into the show because Loki can be kind of an irritating character to watch for such a long time, right? I didn't want to be like Loki into the Lokiverse, where it's just a bunch of Lokis, right? Because we kind of knew that we were getting a Lady Loki, and we might get different versions of Loki throughout the show.
Yeah, we're getting a child Loki too, as well, right?
Right,
and confirmed as well.
Right, and my worry was that it's just going to be all the same character, like in terms of personality and everything. And I really enjoyed the conflict between the two Lokis, how they had the sort of
yeah, go on, finish your point.
They had differences in terms of perspectives and like even small things like how to make a plan and strategy and all that.
The thing about their mother dying, right? It wasn't the mother who died. Sophia's mother didn't die, right? Oh, sorry, Lady Loki's mother didn't die. Isn't that correct? Like, or she died in a different way from Loki. That was one of the conversations.
I don't think they said what happened to her mother.
Yeah, they didn't say
the way she reacted.
They said what happened with the history. Sorry, go on. What were you going to say? What?
The way she reacted to what Loki was saying kind of showed to me. It showed that she felt similar to how he felt. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Okay, so wait a second. It was something was different about their timeline, specifically to do with something we've seen.
She asked him what happened to your mother, right?
She said, okay, so that was.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think Lady Loki or Sylvie. Her mom taught her magic. That's what it was.
She said her mom taught her magic.
Who taught you magic?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's right. And Loki, who was it that Loki said it was
his mother.
Loki said his mother,
yeah.
But Lady Loki said it was who?
She taught herself.
Right. Okay. Got you. That was what I was thinking of. Yeah.
Okay, Tony just said that he was saying Marvel is doing a long, drawn-out story, and they have spoiled fans with so much action that they expect from every property they drop. And you're absolutely right. And I understand what you're saying now. So I do appreciate you explaining that.
But no, that's not my problem with the show, dude. I don't care about action.
Oh no,
It's not.
I don't think he's saying that.
I know what he's saying, and I get it. Like I understand that, but that's not my real problem with the show. This episode, and I fully appreciate what you're saying, Southwick, about Lady Loki, but like to me, it was a disappointment. She
Really?
came in like a badass. I thought at the end of episode 1, burning up the TVA.
Right.
I wanted to see a villainous, dark version of the kind of Loki that we're used to seeing. But instead, she's a pixie magic girl
how do we know?
Has zero intimidation. She has zero intimidation factor. Let me finish. Like, she has zero intimidation factor. She doesn't seem that badass to me. I know she has these fight scenes, and Loki has these fight scenes. Plus, those fight scenes are ridiculous. When did Loki start fighting? I thought he was a good fighter before. He was like, he used to do like magic and tricks and stuff when he was fighting, and he could fight even Thor. And now he's fighting and Captain America, and now he's fighting in some weird way that it's bad. The action, it's boring, and it's bad.
I like that for show. It's the knife play. Mm-hmm. That's Loki for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, that's Loki.
Like,
but
the dagger shit, that's his weapon of choice.
I just want to finish because that doesn't even bother me that much. That's okay. I can deal with bad action, or okay action. My main issue, right, is one that this storyline with this character has just turned into more fucking soap opera, more like, I don't know if she's supposed to be like a sympathetic villain. We're getting to know her in this kind of weird way, and that's interesting to do, but I just don't see her being able to be a dark Loki. So my question to you is this: is she the one who burnt up the TVA? Do we know that for sure, do you think?
Yeah, we know that for sure.
So she burnt up the TVA.
Said,
This is to me, I'm not for it. It's like,
I don't
once
think
again Marvel's gone that route of just making like turning a villain who had, just like they did with Loki, who had the potential of being a classic villain in their universe, into something just weak and kind of like, weak sauce, basically.
I think the show is trying to make you look at it from a different angle, where maybe Loki isn't, or Sylvie isn't the villain of the show, and maybe it's the TVA, right? Because that's what they've been. That's the entire thing. So, like, in terms of, you want like sinister and all that stuff, maybe we're gonna get that from the time. I want to say Time Lords, but that's Doctor Who. But the Timekeepers, right?
That was one interesting revelation in the show, that all of the Timekeepers, sorry, not the Timekeepers, the TVA agents are variants, right? And they don't know it,
right.
But what I would love is if Owen Wilson turns out to have been a villain, because because Mobius said in the first episode he was a big fan of Loki. But my thing is, I very much doubt it. I think he's going to be with Loki and discover that the TVA are bad. Maybe Gugu Mathara Raw, who plays, what was it?
The main head lady, right?
Yeah, Romula or something. I think maybe she's going to turn. She's going to turn the villain, right? So and then there's going to be them three trying to uncover the mystery of why the TVA are evil or something.
Exactly, because what ends up happening in the comics is, so the big Marvel, when you think time travel in Marvel, you think of King the Conqueror. That's sort of, you're synonymous with that. And this head lady, she's actually a love interest for King the Conqueror. They're a thing in the comics, right? So like, the idea is eventually maybe this is going to lead to King the Conqueror, and she is definitely evil. Like, I feel like we're definitely going to get a turn where the Timekeepers are the bad guys, and this idea that everything is predestined will essentially go away, right? So I think that
you see Mobius being in on that, like Mobius being potentially.
You
just think he's a variant and he's going to find out.
I think I think it's going to be more of a tragic thing because like we see he has an affinity for like the 90s and everything to do with the 90s. So maybe some timeline where he was in the 90s and he got plucked from that, and then and so it'll be Loki, Sylvie, and Mobius sort of going after the timekeepers and what's her name? Romulus? I can't remember. The head lady. Yeah, Ravonna Rainslayer. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think that's where the show is going. But I think that it's definitely slower paced. But I'm in it for the ride, and honestly, it's it's fun. I mean,
it's look. It's not about It's not about being slower paced. I watch
right.
things like Mindhunter and
Sure, yeah.
like super slow paced shows. It's not about that. It's just it's much more.
You just don't care about like.
I don't care what's happening, and it's much more goofier than I. No, that's not even true because I expected it to be goofy. I just find that the investment in it's like it's gone from 0 to 100 without explaining like what's in the middle a bit. Either that or I just don't care what's been explained to me yet.
Well,
and look, I'm gonna just to finish. It's okay. Now you distracted me, so I can't think. You did that on purpose,
yes.
like
no more Loki slander.
All right, go on.
But I was gonna say, like in terms of what they've set up. I mean, they've set up Secret Wars. They've set up, we know Kang is coming. We know Multiverse of Madness is happening.
They mentioned Secret Wars. Does that really?
All right, let me ask you a question.
It's gonna happen. I mean,
of course we think it's gonna happen because we've been told it's gonna happen. But like, there's nothing more than a mention of Secret Wars at the moment.
Sure,
it's kind of disappointing, actually, in my opinion. But
really, I mean, I don't expect the show to like drop
episodes of I don't give a fuck. Where are we going? Yeah. Where is it really gonna go somewhere to really help the plot of Multiverse of Madness? Do you really think?
I get what you're saying because the same thing with WandaVision. We same thing with WandaVision because everyone was saying
you're absolutely right.
I take it so with these what I've learned with these Marvel shows, I don't think of them as how is it going to connect to this and that's why I should care. I think of it like, okay, is this telling a good story? And for me, I thought WandaVision was telling a good story and I enjoyed WandaVision. Same thing with Captain America or Falcon and Winter Soldier. And with Loki, I mean, the show is not over, but from what I'm getting so far, I'm enjoying it. I mean, yeah.
Well, it's better than...
You don't like WandaVision?
I'll tell you what, I enjoyed the first 2 episodes of WandaVision. It's
really
weird.
Yeah.
I really did. I thought it was going somewhere. Again, it's still a bit like light and fluffy. There's so much good TV, Safwick. You have to admit that. We've had a renaissance in TV recently. I don't know that these Marvel shows are up to standard for the average viewer, but like I think they're doing good numbers, and there's a lot of MCU fans, so it's doing well in the sense of that. But in terms of bringing on new people to the show, I'll be curious how many new people are getting invested in these shows. Because WandaVision, for me, 2 episodes, I was like, yeah, I like this. That was a bit of a slow burn, but I was enjoying what I was seeing. I like the 50s sitcom thing and how creepy it was when it was kind of breaking out of that world. But then it just turned into, I don't know, like, it seemed like, what was it? The show that the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or something like.
Really?
It seemed like kind of, that kind of level of show. And then,
what show are you saying is you feel like is the level of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I wasn't gonna. I think I mean, my favorite like the shows I look forward to every year, like The Boys, Better Call Saul. I mean, that's all stuff I really enjoy, and these shows are nowhere near that good. Maybe the closest thing is Falcon and Winter Soldier, right? I love Falcon and Winter Soldier. I mean, out of the 3 shows we've gotten so far, I think that was my favorite. I know Nerdman doesn't like it, but I mean,
I can't like we can't spend like 12 years on these films and then spend
Please
6
stop
episodes
this tyrant.
with these episodes. So it's kind of
Tony is
hard
conflicted.
to
She's okay,
even
but
think that these are anything more than just filler to make them more money to buy.
Thank you,
time,
thank you, Pickle, for telling the truth. This is a fucking disappointment so far. She is a pixie angel woman. I don't see her as the terrible villain that I thought was. Hopefully the TVA turn out to be better villains. I know what's her name is a great actress. Gugu, Mathra Raw. She's a really great actress. So hopefully, if she's the villain or something like that, it turns out to be good. But that was a disappointed turn. I was expecting like a cool villain here or a more badass, like character, and it just turns out to be like some goofy, wacky hijinks. With a Doctor Who-ish kind of wacky hijinks kind of thing.
Who is
and then even the world they ended up on, wasn't that like fascinating, like this moon or whatever? I was like, I was hoping to see like alternate realities or something that they get to jump to, and then they jump to this timeline of planet, and it's just like it's not that cool what's happening.
I think we're gonna get those alternate timelines. We did see the one alternate timeline with basically New York City got like it looks like it got bombed basically, right? We see the Avengers Tower in the background. So I feel like we're gonna get a lot more of those type of timelines. But also, I mean it's animated, it's whatever. But like if you want alternate timelines, that's What If, I think, right? We're gonna get the multiverse is basically What If, and all these different stories that we're gonna get episode to episode are these branch timelines that are a result from this show. So I mean, I guess Marvel's giving us these more alternate universes through that show. I don't know what extent we're gonna get it in this show, but I mean, I don't know.
It's definitely better than Agatha. Pickle just said
that
as well.
Oh yeah. I mean, Agatha was. I wish they developed.
Agatha was all right. She wasn't a big problem, I think.
I wasn't. She's saying she's a problem. I'm saying I like this.
I would have preferred her as Logan. No,
I don't think Agatha
Lady Loki.
Fun. So I don't know if she's Lady fucking Loki. She could be Lady Loki. She could be Enchantress. Hopefully,
whatever the hell she isn't what it seemed to be when she was just in the dark, in the shadows, burning up the TVA.
I don't know
that was awesome.
I don't know how you engage a character you have seen for 6 episodes to a character you have seen for 3, and you have 3 more episodes to go. How is that character better than the other character?
The woman who's playing her is a better actress. First of all, I liked her as an actress in that role much more. I thought she was doing really well, and like in the comedy shows and the different styles of comedy, she played it well. And then when she turned to the action witch, I thought she was good. So this one, I don't know. She really, I don't know. I'm not going to go into it. I've made my point about that. But
I don't think Nerdman, at the end of the day, I don't think she's going to be the main villain. So I don't think that she was never supposed to be this.
Southwick, is your cold, black, darkened MCU heart watching Lois, Superman and Lois?
I gave up after the first episode just because I didn't have time. But I was enjoying it. I was enjoying it, though. It was good. I will give you that. I was thoroughly looking forward to the show. I just didn't have time. Honestly, I was more worried about WandaVision at the time. I wanted to watch that instead. But
so funny, man.
I can't wait to see Agatha again when she comes back, though. I gotta say, because
she's definitely coming back for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she signed for 3 more films. So
really, I did not know that. Okay, cool.
So that's what basically solidifies that we're probably gonna see Mephisto in some form.
I don't know.
I know everybody is saying it.
Yeah.
That they either think that he's not going to be in because he hasn't already, or he's going to because he hasn't been. But I just think we have Ghost Rider confirmed. We have the Dark Supernatural MCU coming. So why wouldn't they use Mephisto in any caliber?
Yeah, I completely agree. And back then the worry was China or whatever, and now Marvel's sort of losing that Chinese presence with what the director of the Eternals said, and now they're not even showing Marvel movies in China anymore.
Yeah.
So Marvel can just go F it and just do whatever they want, go crazy.
So
exactly.
crazy
And you got Sam Raimi doing, you can really helm a lot of these horror projects if they want to go that route too. So I mean, I think they're called the Midnight Suns in the comics, right? I feel like we might get those right.
The Rise of the Midnight Suns with Ghost Rider and
and
Night Stalkers.
And Moon Knight 2 is part of that, right?
That would be really
cool. I think he's officially part of the Midnight Suns, but he was in a couple issues.
Okay.
I don't think he was in Rise, but I think he was after Rise. But that's like the best. That's my favorite Marvel stuff from that time.
Right.
And also Danny Ketch's Ghost Rider. That's really good. But
who do you think we're gonna get as if because they're talking about Ghost Rider or whatever? Who do you think we're gonna get as Ghost Rider? Johnny Blaze, Danny Ketch, heck, even Frank Castle. I mean, who would you want as Ghost Rider in the MCU?
Well, we're definitely not going to get Frank Castle as Ghost Rider because then they would have to put his ass into space.
That would be badass.
It would be so cool, but then we would see that Thanos story, and that story is incredible. Anybody with a baby Thanos? And,
yep.
All right. Okay. But right, you're talking about like the comic book, the character. I haven't read much Ghost Rider, but I've always liked the idea of the character. But he seems like he's quite OP. Like you can't.
Who
Ghost Rider, like from the films, it's just like he never really had like much of a challenge in terms of like villains or anything.
If you think about it, like that's a whole different type of Marvel anyways, like supernatural Marvel, those characters and the villains they fight.
It's kind of like
they even fight Dracula, for Christ's sake.
It was Spectre from DC. Did he come before Ghost Rider or after?
Way before. Spectre was JSA. Before. Spectre was the JSA. Like he was old. I mean.
Okay. So
right?
Yeah,
I think so.
So they took Spectre from they took Ghost Rider. I think it's a kind of a little bit of a Spectre ripoff.
I mean, you could say the same thing with Deadman too, right? Because I mean, there are tons of characters who sort of get resurrected, come back, and are pawns of the devil or whatever. So I mean,
but look, final words on Loki. Look. I need to watch both of those episodes again, but I have to say it wasn't. I guess the best way to say it is I think there are lots of people who like it who are like Doctor Who heads, who are MCU heads, but I've never liked Doctor Who. Hitchhiker's Guide from the Galaxy is also close to it, and I like the book of that, but I've never seen a TV or movie version that I've liked of Hitchhiker's Guide. So. Yeah, it's just whatever to me. But I get the sneaking suspicion, like the next the last 3 episodes are going to be bangers of this because it started off really good, and I think once Owen Wilson gets back into the mix, I think it's going to be really enjoyable. I'm going to give this my grading M for mediocre.
Dang.
No, I'm joking. It's gonna be like I think a C-, same as the last episode before. Guys, I have to go because I'm doing a hip hop stream. But you're both welcome if you're into hip hop, Southwick. You're welcome. But I don't know shit
about. I don't know shit about rap.
Yeah. Okay, so there you go. And obviously, Mr. Super Zero, you're coming back. And it should be fun. Like do some hip hop, like a little hip hop talk. All right, guys.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
No problem.
Thanks for having me here, man. This is awesome.
No problem.
Southwick, thank you very much for joining.
Yep.
No problem. So guys, like, subscribe. Southwick, you've got a channel. Please subscribe to Southwick. You do like a comic book. I need to check out your channel, dude, and I need to come on your channel if you're.
I haven't posted.
Where's the invite?
I haven't posted anything since I don't know. when the finale of WandaVision, I did a review for that. That was like it's been such a crazy semester for me at school and stuff, so I've been super busy and everything. But like, yeah, I'll have to do something and update my videos. But yeah,
Pickle. One can only hope. One can only hope.
What are we gonna flag this? What's the relationship name for Loki and Sylvie? What are we gonna give them?
Oh,
Lovi?
Lovi.
No.
Oh God.
Silky.
I really hope this gets better, man. I think my issue with the whole thing is that we get 12 years with the films and all this, and they want us to care and whatever, and we get 6 to 8 episodes.
One question I was going to ask before I leave,
I wish we would get a lot more.
Do you think that all of these storylines being so important and connected together is going to lead the MCU to a point? Someone's living in like the harbor.
That would be me.
Where is that?
Wait, there's a train right in front of me.
The L train.
There's a train right. Like I'm staring at it right now. I'm gonna mute my mic for a second.
All right, no problem. So, do you think that this whole series with Marvel is going to get convoluted by how much storyline you have to follow? Because if these TV shows are really that important to the movies, and people have to watch these to kind of not fully understand, but to understand some of the things that are going on in the film universe, and then they're going to continue this. At what point do you think it's just going to get like a convoluted mess? You know, like certain, you know, like how they have
the Netflix shows or whatever.
No, you know, like how they have to reset the comics and redo.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
storylines get overlapping and convoluted, so people don't know what's happening anymore. Do you think that's going to happen with the MCU at all, with this strategy that they're doing?
I think as long as you keep the one thing with these Disney Plus shows is that they've sort of been in their own little bubble where you might need to watch a movie or two before you watch the TV show and you'd be all caught up. And that's why Disney made the Marvel Legends, the little clip show thing to get you caught up. So as long as they sort of keep them in their own little bubble, and then maybe in the movies they'll connect, but I'm sure you can just watch the shows without watching the movies and you should be satisfied. I think,
that's my only worry. I think that given what the history of comics, when they've gone on for too long, like they get like these convoluted storylines, I'm wondering if that's going to have a similar impact in the movie or TV universe. I doubt it, but it's kind of like, to me, the same with some soap operas.
Sure, yeah.
Where, like when you get into it at the beginning and you just keep on following it, but then you miss like, a month or 2 months or 3 months of it. And it's just like, you come back and you have no idea what's going on, who the characters are, why they're doing what they're doing, etc. So that was my only thought. But I have to jump out of here, guys. We'll be doing that hip hop stream next. I don't know if we're going to do a hip hop stream for about an hour and then do the DC thing, or if we're just going to do the hip hop thing straight through. But either way, it's a DC animated universe tier list. But we'll decide and we'll tell you when we start the hip hop stream. So guys, that's it for me. Ooh, yellow. What's going on?
Hey.
You out here talking mad nonsense, and I didn't appreciate it. That's what's been going on for way too long, Sadwick. You have not been coming with the fire. I don't appreciate it.
Sorry.
Sorry. Carmen Super Zero Bates, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Sorry.
Carmen Super Zero Bates, it's a pleasure to meet you. Carmen Super Zero Bates, it's a pleasure to meet you. Carmen Super Zero Bates, it's a pleasure to meet you. Carmen Super Zero Bates, it's a pleasure to meet you. Carmen Super Zero Bates, it's a pleasure to meet you. Carmen Super Zero Bates, it's a pleasure to meet you. Carmen Super Zero Bates, it's a pleasure to meet you. Carmen Super Zero Bates, it's a pleasure to meet you. Carmen Super Zero Bates, it's a pleasure to meet you. Carmen Super Zero Bates, it's a pleasure to meet you. Carmen Super Zero Bates, it's a pleasure to meet you. Carmen Super Zero Bates, it's a pleasure to meet you. Carmen Super Zero Bates, it's a pleasure to meet you. Carmen Super Zero Bates, it's a pleasure to meet you. Carmen Super Zero Bates, it's a pleasure to meet you. Carmen Super Zero Bates I can't remember what it was, but there are a couple of things you said that I disagreed with. But for the most part, you seem to be a reasonable individual. First of all, last week's episode of Loki was boring. Started off good, I think. It was very, very boring, and then it ended fantastically. This week's episode of Loki was also great. I don't know where it is that you guys are coming with. It's not good. It was boring. It's put me to sleep. I think the character work that they did was very interesting. I think that the setting was very interesting and beautiful. They kept up the pace, really. You never really knew who was the one that was lying at the time, who was working who. I really appreciated that. Sylvie obviously is very guarded, with her personal information history, her PIP, if you will. Yeah, I don't get this. I don't know. I don't really understand any of the negative things that you had to say about it. I think that you're a ridiculous individual and you only hate it because people liked it. Superman and Lois. I've loved this series up until this point. I hate Superman. I hate everything about Superman. I've always hated Superman. He's just corny. Sometimes he does some cool stuff in the comics because he's super strong and he has to beat up on super strong people.
Really get along, as you can see.
But he's super corny. Superman and Lois is an incredible show. I've absolutely loved it. Every single episode, the way that they've decided to unveil the different plot points. They end the episodes with amazing hooks and amazing reveals, and you're just like, oh my god! And they continue to do it. This episode, I feel like, has suffered the most from the fact that they had to stop production because of the pandemic, because you can see most of the beginning of the episode is clearly filmed footage that they shot for the first episode that they reused to kind of give us a clip show, a flashback show. There's something that television shows do towards the end of the season. They give us a flashback, give us all the context that we need to process the information that we have gotten up to this point, and also what's going to come in the future, right? So I'm like, maybe not. Maybe this wasn't the best episode. And I still think that they did it incredibly well. It being a lackluster episode. The end, again, just like
it blended really well, and it was so interesting to see.
I was almost done talking.
Yeah, you never know with you, Yellow.
Now that it's true. Now the end, I think in the tradition of this show that we've seen in this season thus far, absolutely amazing, and they kept with that same tradition. The end of this shit was amazing. I loved everything about the official ending of it. I think the way that they tell this story and the version of Superman that they're exploring in this show is the version of Superman that I think that they should have given us in the movies. This is the version of Superman that I think we should have seen since they killed him in the 90s, I think, in the comic books. I think this is the interesting way that you give us because he's the classic hopeful, all good, super powerful. He is he's the same guy, but he's faced with different kind of challenges. You have to explore more interesting and nuanced perspectives, and I think that they've been doing it incredibly well. Just fuck, the show's amazing. Southwick, you are really missing out, fam. Hurry up and do it. It's amazing.
I will.
What else craziness did you guys say? I think that's it.
Hold your peace, man. Say what you have to say, or forever hold your peace. We are going to talk some hip hop, dude. That's what we're gonna do next, man. I can't believe he came on.
Yellow, what you eating there?
Yellow's amazing, man.
I got some fried rice, pineapple, and avocado.
I'm gonna call you Yellow Belly from now on, man.
Why would you call him Yellow Belly? You are so racist, hot takes.
But anyway, dudes, that was a classic, man. Anyway, what we're gonna do is like, subscribe. Obviously, subscribe to Yellow. To hear some more incredibly eloquent takes that nonetheless are bullshit.
This guy is nuts. This guy, if everybody likes it, he hates it. If everybody hates it, he likes it. If he likes something and everybody likes it, it's overrated. This guy's nuts. He's a psycho. But I'm be spouting bullshit. It sounds good, but it's some bullshit. All right, I get it.
All right. And of course, do subscribe to Southwick as well. And of course, comment. I love the comments. Always respond to the comments as much as I can. What else? Give me a high five. Press the like button as well. Or smash that like button for me as well. And I'm going to see you on the flip side. Love you 3000. Peace.